So where were we? For college. I think
We discussed about the girl, the boyfriend,
on the bus.
and then we went to the next day. Girls that you thought were tens.
Oh yes.
And then, I listened.
You
And then,
did.
yeah, that's around the area we kind of live in. And then we're about to get deep.
Oh
What
yes.
to talk about?
Well, but the next year. So the next year was.
This is now second year at university.
Yeah, this is second year.
Yeah.
Second year was low key terrible. What happened was.
Oh yes, you told me the
Yeah.
bombshell. You had
Yeah.
stopped making music for a year.
Yes. we
This is
stopped
the
doing-
duration of second year.
Yeah.
Okay.
We stopped making music for a year for some reason. What happened was I was having difficulties with my focus, to be honest. Like I was just like, I don't know, it's not like the vision wasn't there anymore.
Focus with music, or like focus with like school. And
with
life in
school,
general?
like I was just in a general state of confusion.
So there's a confusion on life.
It was confusion of life, bruh. It was confusion of life. And you know the thing is, you see, I hate coming back to this point, but then I'd be lying if I don't talk about it. The thing is, like, that's why I said, like, early on when I was making music, I was very Drakey, man, because it was always like girl related. Like it was just like something that just happened, and I was just like, you know what? Like I was just confused, you know, like after that, you know, like after a breakup, when you become all macho, man, and you're like, yeah, man, cool, etc. It's very terrible for a creative, because like creativity thrives on authenticity, right?
Yeah.
At least I believe that. I believe that to be the highest pinnacle of a creative, you have to embody like your thoughts, your feelings to a high level. Like just be you, the most, do the most of you. So pretty much what happened then was like I was not me, and it was like it was a very tough year.
Had a breakup just happened.
Yeah, it was just after a breakup, and it was just messy, and I released a trash song about the breakup, so I was feeling bad about that, and yeah, it was just like not working, and I wasn't inspired to make music, and I did do some songs, but it was just not working. It wasn't coming together, and I was just lost for that period in time, and it went on for quite a bit. This confusion. Then that's when I started really just studying myself, and just like knowledge of self and stuff like that, and like, you know, like to be honest, like that's why sometimes I think like, you know, like I'm sort of built to be a musician, because like I'm not afraid to look in the mirror and see the dirt. You know, like I'm not afraid to like look and see like, yo, these are your flaws, this is where you're slacking, this is where you could be better, etc. You know, and at that point in time, like it was a low. I was very depressed. Like I was proper, like legit depressed, and I wasn't showing anyone though. Like if you ask anyone from fam, they'd be like, no, he was cool, he was chilling, you know. But then like I was just not happy with life. Like I was not fulfilled, and like, you know, sometimes you just end up just thriving off past glory. Keep on saying, but you know, like last year I did that though, you know, and stuff like that. But then like, what are you doing now? You know, it's a quick paced thing. Like, you know, like people, when it comes to music, people want music like, even though it may not be like all the time, but you have to make sure that on some level, like you're putting out music.
You have to be consistent.
Exactly, to some level of consistency. So as I was growing, and this year is going on, and I'm like just not inspired. I'm trying to get back on the wagon and stuff like that. Then I go back for my third year. I go for third year, and it was third year first semester, and that's when I was staying off campus. Yeah, I was staying off campus, and Papa was still a bit like in that gray area, just like that confused zone, and yeah.
Your dog's taking a liking to you.
It has. This is actually interesting, because usually a bit violent, but he just fronts, not a G like that. What happened was I was staying off campus, and like I was trying to get the school thing together and stuff, and just trying to get my marks good, you know. I'm trying to get attachment for the next year and all that, and you know, it's bad. Like, you know, everyone has their vices. You know, so, some people have alcohol, and some people have drugs and stuff like that. You know, like we all have our vices. So, you know, I think I catered to my vices a little bit too much in that year, and I found myself in a very similar predicament as I did before. That got me into the depression. And then, but then this time though, I released a song, and it's actually not that bad. I released a song. It was called The Color Elf, and it was like, it wasn't a fuck you type song.
Yeah.
Sorry, pardon my French, to the person in question, but it was more of like, just like it was. Firecracker. That was intense. Tiger, interview happening. I know you're actually scared.
Wait. Hey, focus. Focus. Ah.
Anyway,
Calm
Tiger,
down, boy.
come on.
Calm down. Okay, so you released a song, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. This time it wasn't that
Some
bad.
point.
And it just at that point in time I thought it was like a divine sign. Divine sign that I need to focus on the music.
Yeah.
Like this is my
And
calling.
this is third year.
Exact third year. And like it was like almost like a wake up call, like, fam. Just say G, you're being distracted, my G.
Yeah.
Stay focused on this. Like, do it for real. Don't mess around. Like, if you're doing it, do it. And that's when I went in full body. Like, I just went in and like I developed like this insatiable desire to like do music at a high level. Tiger, I'm saying some important stuff. Chill. To do music at a high level. And at that point in time, like, it came back. Like,
Passion.
the passion came back. It came back
motivation.
even harder than before. And this time I was now like, I made sure that I was informed. I was studying everything. I was studying all my favorite artists. I was studying my not so favorite artists. I'm studying local. I'm studying international. I'm studying regional.
Alright, so at this point, are you getting closer now to like the beginning of campus?
Yes.
Like you started,
Listen, I hadn't started campus in particular, but then this was now the roots. This is like the actual roots of where campus came from. Because at that point in time, I wanted to drop a project called Genjitsu, and of which it was going to be very outlandish because it was like an anime reference. Because you know, and like I knew that like I was like for a good period of time it was supposed to be Genjitsu. It was going to be my first project, but then I realized that it's a very outlandish, it's a very niche concept, and people won't actually relate to that. So that's when again, now fast forward to Attachment, and I did Color L, right? And then comes the song. I call it the song because it's the one which sort of changed things. I dropped a song called Pombo Noka.
Yeah,
And
I'm familiar. I mean, from Pomonaga, I'm familiar with all your songs.
Oh, all the songs from Pombo Noka. Pombo Noka, pretty much what happened. So it's a funny story. Pombo Noka, I was working on like, you know, the thing is like, I remember getting like flack from an artist, a female artist in the industry. She's like, you know, your song is so derogatory and stuff like that and whatnot. And you know, the thing is, it's funny how derogatory it is, but it's also funny how accurate it is. Like, I wasn't saying anything that was like outlandish. I was just speaking about stuff that has happened on campus.
Your
I was like,
environment, yeah.
it's in my environment. So I did that. The ants. The Revenge of the Ants. Then I did Pombo Noka, right? And I did the initial beat. I did like a little beat. I sampled this song by the Churches. It's called I forgot what the song is called. I forgot the song, but it's like this random song by the Church. It was on the FIFA 14 track list, I remember. And I just kind of chopped it up and I made a beat like that. So then the initial chorus went like Sununguka, Sununguka, Sununguka. It's easy. So I was like, I like Sununguka, but then I don't know. It just doesn't have that appeal. Like, I don't see it. Because my thing is like aesthetics, man. Like, things need to be beautiful.
They need to fit right.
You know, they need to fit
look
right.
good,
Exactly.
yeah.
From the font size to the color scheme to how is it like when someone sees it on their playlist, how does it look as compared to other songs and stuff like that. So I was at school and I was asking around, I was like, hey, do you know any other word that can be used in place of Sununguka? Right? I was just looking for something else that had that similar vibe, right? And then I remember Benson was like, Pombo Noka. Initially, as soon as he said it, Pombo Noka, I was like, what is that? It was like a magic trick. It's like, what is that? Pombo Noka. And I was like, yeah, it's like to chill, unwind, to relax, right?
Yeah.
So I wrote, a funny thing, I wrote a number of verses for Pombo Noka initially. And we're chilling at Benson's place, and he's like, yo, man, you know, you've got good verses, but they're kind of weak though. for this track. Like, if you want to make a party track, make it a party, like, go in, right?
Yeah.
And it's so silly, but then like this is how the first line came out. Pretty much what happened was like the place that Benson was staying. This woman walks in, right? This woman walks in, and I'm gonna stay very PG-13 and say she was shapely.
Okay.
She was shapely. She walks in, right? And and we gasped like,
Literally gasped.
Like, oh my. Right? So then, like, I was outside and I was cramming looking for bars, right? And that's when they was like, oh, the booty gave me ass.
Oh, because you were grasping, so you went right.
Exactly, like, breathless. So the way I write my lines, I just type them out on my phone. So I was like, oh, breathless. Then you get the ass, but then I just saw it, and then it starts spiraling. Then I started thinking of, like, oh, yeah, that thing that happened that day, then it sort of came together. But then, Pombo Noka took a while to come out actually because it went through so many versions and so many re-recordings, and initially it was supposed to be 3 people on the song, and then eventually it became just me. So what happened was in the next year when I was on Attachment now, it still wasn't out. There's still just a concept out there, and then I sent like a piece of it to like my good friend Victor, Mr. Victor Enlisted, and he's like, dude, I really like the song. Like we can take it to another level. And then like I gave him like
he added on to the song.
Exactly. Then I gave him the skeleton of what I did, and then he built from that skeleton, and that's when we dropped it. And when the day we dropped it, I was scheduled because I heard like a call out for like performances at Miss UZ, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do it. Like at that point in time, I was like so into the music, like I was ready to do anything and everything. Like I wasn't waiting for like any good timing or anything like that. So I was like, okay, let me do this. So we dropped Pombo Noka, right? And actually it had a good buzz. Like people were really intrigued. They wanted to see it come out. And when it came out, like it was like a smash. Like
people Pombo Noka,
yeah, I remember
Like,
exactly.
I love it.
Yeah. So I put it out, and people are like, yeah, this is a tune. This is a dope track. And then I go and I audition for Miss UZ. I walk into like I think it was like, I don't know if it's their common room or something like that. So I thought it was just gonna be like, you know, like some members of the organizing committee, just like some chilled, like, you know, I'm just gonna do this little audition and stuff like that. And I walk in and like there's all these amazing people, all these attractive looking people, and I'm like here and I'm like, yo, this is a random Friday, and I'm just like, I'm not even ready for this. And I just released the song. So I was like, okay. Then I did the audition. People love it. They then hit me back. They're like, yo, we want you to perform at the actual thing. End up performing at Miss UZ, Miss AU next. And then, like, funny enough, like one of the organizers of Miss UZ actually calls me one morning. He just says, congrats, man. I'm like, congrats on what? He's like, I just heard your song on the radio. I'm like, my song on what?
This a person
from the Miss UZ organizing committee, right? He's like, yo, I heard your song on the radio. I'm like, on the radio? That is insane. Like, my song wasn't on the radio. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. And funny thing, I was working towards getting on the radio, but it was a bust. So it was actually one of the things.
So you attempted to get on radio.
Exactly, but it was a bust. But
the system was just
system. You know how it is, man.
You
gotta play the game. Yeah.
Okay.
So I did that, and eventually it found itself onto radio. And I remember getting the voice note, and it's like, and this is Pombo Noka by Six the Law. I was like,
and they got your name right.
Exactly, like, they know. They didn't say VI, they didn't say V1, they got it correct. So it's like, yo, Six the Law, Pombo Noka. And I was like, dude, this is just started off as an idea, you know, and like it's actually moving.
So at this point, what are we going through, like, psychologically? When you heard your song on the radio,
on the
was
radio,
it like a boost, like, no, I need to keep doing this, or
pretty much.
Or did you feel like you reached your ceiling?
The ceiling. No, actually, you know, the thing is, like, after doing the color hour and the creative process for that, like, I just knew, like, at that point in time that, yo, like, I want to blow up, and like, I want to blow up in a corny way, like I want to have fancy cars and a big house and stuff like that. For me, my main thing is influence and impact. It's more of like, what can we do over what can I do, and what can I do to make what we do bigger? You know, that sort of thing.
I like that, yeah.
So like, in that point in time, that's when I developed like some sort of like zen out mastermind. I came up, sure thing, you can do that. I came up with this zen out mastermind thing. I was like, you know what? I just decided to be dope. Like it's not even about being the best. I just want to be dope. Like you know, the thing is, like, you can't say Kanye West is the best rapper in America, but he's the dopest. Like he's culture, you know,
true, yeah.
that type of thing. So like I figured, I was like, you know what, I want to be in my carve my own lane, you know, sort of thing. Like I just don't want to do like what everyone else is doing. Like not that I'm taking away anything from what other people do, like that's their lane, you know, but I want to stay authentically to my lane. Like I want to be dope. I started my own vlog called Bar's Son, and basically we'll just go over like little updates and me dropping bars at the end of the video, just recorded with the phone. We did 2 episodes of that. It became a bust later on, but then, like, you know, like I had that tenacity. I wasn't afraid to go. I set up my own little site, you know, like I figured out how can I create a site, you know, on no budget. Like how do I do that? Like, you know, and I started going out and learning. Like I figured that the only thing that can separate me, because I noticed that, you know, like I met like a lot of people in the industry, right? And like some of them were like super cool. Like some people are like the most awesome people.
Industry. These are Zimbabwean
Zimbabwean artists, and then the industry and stuff. And I'm like, okay, they're cool. Then there's some who are just like downright, nah, fam, like we just don't vibe, we don't get along and stuff. So I figured that like what can really separate me from other artists is my ability to take the hits and my ability to learn. You know, to make sure that I'm learning like all the time. That learning curve, just be willing to learn. You know, willing to fail out loud, willing to like put out a song. Like I'm not that I'll put out like a song that's crappy or stuff like that, but I make sure I do as much as I possibly can, like with what I have, and they know that at least I put my best into the song and I put it out, and then we'll see how it goes from there. That's when we put out. We did Pombonoka. We did a song called Bra. We did, yeah. We're just putting out like tunes. I did a little verse over that Drake and Future "I'm the Plug" track. And yeah, I was just developing my technique, you know, coming up with bars, you know, like I became like I started referring to myself as a barkitect, because I like exactly a barkitect, like just coming up with like little lines. Like I remember one of my favorite lines from that period was like this line I did for this song called Bra, when I was like center of the universe, I got bars, son, like my girls mixed race, like they did the color right. I was like, and I'm like, and like, you know, sometimes
just to get in there, right?
Yeah.
You know, I get so frustrated when I'm listening to a song with someone, and the lyrics just go over the head. Like I get everything, and I just hope like people that watch this will get it. Like it's a good thing to be able to relate to what people are saying, not even just relate, but just get it.
Just get it, right? Yeah.
Get it.
And I like the reaction, like, oh yeah, I did the song called H, right? One of my homies, he sent over an instrument. He's like, yo, can I have a feature on this? I was like, dope. And it was pretty much about Harare. And it went like, it had some really interesting bars. It had like some really interesting bars. It was like, it was funny. It was like, their face so Fresh Street, but their booty market square. Something, because I'm repping Harare. I remember, I was like, but when I speak, don't let it fly over. Everybody chasing green till their pockets cream soda. I'm a beast, they should put me in Lion Cheetah Park. When this verse hits the web, I'm a young Peter Park. Like it was like you know, like it was just like cool, like wordplay, you know, like everyone's like, he means speak the road, and that's where the flyover. Oh, yeah. You know, exactly. So it's like people are like, oh, that's what he's trying to say. Or like I was like on end of Pombonoka, I was like, she said you love things, Hantika. She wants so to love Manji Hantabatika, because baby I got options. *151# I got options. You know, like I like that feeling of ooh, like my type of bars are sort of like the type that you chuckle and you like.
I think as a rapper, I don't know if I'm not a rapper, so I don't know. But I think as a rapper, once you are on Twitter and someone quotes your bars, and then that meme that's like
Exactly.
You know, you're like, yeah,
that's what you're like, yeah,
like
exactly. And funny, I did, for Pombo Noka, I did, someone did like the whole 4 pictures with flames.
Yeah.
Like, dude, when I heard the bars, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
crazy. So that's one thing which I enjoy. I enjoy like giving bars. So for 2015, most of the songs are just bar oriented. Like, yo, feel that and hits your chest. You're like, ah, that was dope. That was dope. So now I was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, if I want to do a project, what am I gonna do it? So I was still hanging on to Genjitsu. I was like, yo, Genjitsu is gonna be mine.
This is from
This from late 2014 into 2015. I'm now in attachment.
Okay.
And I'm thinking like, what? And I was like, you know what? I want to do something. Like I felt unfulfilled because you know the thing is, when I looked at Pombo Noka, right? It's an easy listen. Yes, it's a party song. Like people can just, you know, they can vibe to it and stuff like that. But I was like, you know, I don't want to be in a position where I have to make 10,000 Pombo Nokas for me to make it.
Survive.
It's to survive, you know. And the thing is, like, the level of artist that I want to be, I felt like Pombo Noka would be limiting me. Like, that's too much of a ceiling. That puts me in a box. Like, okay, this guy, he does this type of, like, you know, party type records and stuff. I was like, nah, man.
It's like J. Cole from Workout to Forest.
Exactly, to Forest. So I was thinking to myself, like, you know, like, because I think at the end of the day, you know, as an artist, you know, like, we walk the fine line between confidence and hubris, right? Because we're putting a piece of ourselves out there, right? We can easily get lost in ourselves and get like gassed up. It's so easy because like people pretend your track is dope and what. But then you see me, I want to be pop culture. You know, like I'm more like I'm not concerned with like being as big as Samsung. I'm more concerned with creating an iPhone. You know, like making the first iPhone.
Yeah.
Like creating the standard, like creating that box, like that people go like, right, this is the model for what an artist should be. Because I felt like, you know, I feel like there's a certain level of artist that Zimbabwe has been deprived of. You know, like we need someone who's just like overflowingly dope. Like it's just like it's too much. Like this
okay,
guy. Yeah.
By dope, for example, something like that. By dope.
Yeah.
Defining dope. You mean okay, fine. Dope as in how they dress, how they speak. Dope in terms of the artistry.
First of all, what I think like everyone is born dope, but then people it's their relationship to their own dopeness. That's where there's some miscommunication because people get gassed on other people's dope instead of their own dope. And I'm not encouraging drugs.
Yeah, it's not that dope.
Exactly, it's not that dope. But what I'm trying to say is, like, when I say dope, I mean like the highest level of authenticity. Like it's an unforced cool. It's like being your natural cool, but not being afraid to be that cool to the world. You know.